trust nobody in this motherfucker. I mean, this bitch is packed as hell.
You be looking in there, mama.
Work anyways. You know what? Drop that motherfucking location. I'm gonna beat y'all.
What is going on, y'all? It is your boy Lamont here, back again for another banger. And today is Challenge Tuesday. And today I am going to try not to get scared of these 3 true Chick-Fil-A horror stories, animated. Now, I'm not really a big fan of Chick-Fil-A. Reason being is because I don't think their chicken's all busting like that. So, I mean, I've ate a little bit here and there because they used to serve Chick-Fil-A little chicken sandwiches, like they're literally this size at my high school, Millennium High School. So they're alright, but you know what I mean. I'm like a Chick-Fil-A fan. I would not go there like every day. I've actually never really been to the actual Chick-Fil-A fast food place. So, is this gonna make me want to go, or is this gonna just make me stay not going at all? Let's see. And now, right after this ad. Now, Chick-Fil-A horror stories. Cross your fingers, I won't get scared.
This happened on a weekend, dead in the middle of winter. I'm an only child and 7 years old. This night, my parents finally agreed to my pleas to go to Chick-Fil-A for dinner. It was around 7 p.m., but since it was winter, it was already pitch black outside. We showed up, and we went inside to find the place was decently busy. Though it was a weekend, so that was to be expected. We ordered our food, and I went to go pick out where we'd sit. I remember picking a booth in the corner, right next to the play place. Right as the server brought over our food, I quickly began eating my chicken nuggets, knowing that the quicker I ate, the more time I'd have to be in the play place. When I finished, I asked my parents if I could go play, and of course they agreed. I was inside for maybe 10 minutes, when through the windows I saw that cow mascot Chick-fil-A sometimes has out to interact with the kids. I instantly got excited. It was really rare to see the cow, as Chick-fil-A rarely had someone in the costume. I remember seeing him high-fiving the kids, walking around the building. A few minutes went by, and the cow proceeded to walk up to the play place and open the door. I instantly ran up to him and gave him a high five. But just then, the guy in the costume gave me that hand motion to follow him. And without a second thought, I did.
Hell no!
I first went out the play place door.
I don't
and to
know
my
you. I ain't
surprise,
doing
the actual
shit. Ever
building
heard of
through an
straight
exit in the
Dave
back. At that point, even at my young age, I realized something wasn't right. As we got outside, the guy took off his cow mask. To my surprise, the guy was really old, in mid-60s.
That
He was
pedophile
sweating really
shit.
hard, and it honestly looked like he hadn't showered in weeks. I guess I never thought of what I expected the person who was in the costume to look like,
The kid to go out.
but
That's
it
hella
definitely
sus.
wasn't that. Seconds after he took off his mask, the dude started to literally pick me up. Now, at 7 years old, I didn't weigh that much, so he had no struggle grabbing me. Now knowing for sure something wasn't right, I squirmed to try to break free, but it didn't work. The guy proceeded to walk to a car
Fuck
and
that.
hurried back to the parking lot.
I
Dug
would
in his pocket,
screamed.
and pulled out some keys. My
Oh
heart dropped when I heard the sound of the trunk of the car opening. My squirming intensified. I was full on screaming at that point. But luckily, before the guy could stuff me in his trunk, police sirens rang out. It was the most relieving sound I could have heard in that moment. The guy dropped me in reaction, got in his car, and sped off. About a minute
Your
later, my
ass
parents
outta
came
there.
running outside. I
Hell
told them
no.
everything, and they were absolutely panicked. Apparently, the guy was caught only about 5 blocks away as the police saw his car speeding out of the parking lot and assumed it was him. The story goes that the guy who was in the costume held the actual employee with the costume at knife point in the parking lot, demanding he give him the suit. The employee complied and drove away, but called the police on him shortly after. Now that I'm older, I routinely think back to that encounter. If the cops had shown up literally 30 seconds later, I would have been in that man's trunk and he would have successfully gotten away with me. As far as I know, the guy was put in prison, and still is to this day for multiple attempts of child abduction.
Yeah.
This happened a few months ago at a Chick-Fil-A in my hometown. It was a Thursday, and I was just getting off work. I got off insanely late this night. It was like 9 or 10 p.m. I decided I wouldn't have time to make myself food before I went to bed, so I just went to Chick-Fil-A on my way home. I pulled into the parking lot and went inside. I ordered my food and went to a table near the back to wait for it. I couldn't help but notice how little people were actually inside the Chick-Fil-A this night. There were like 5 other customers, which is insanely rare for Chick-Fil-A.
Shouldn't a girl be narrating?
At least the one I go
That's a
to.
girl.
Now, I should add, I'm 23 and female. After a while of sitting in my spot, a strange guy walked over and placed a full cup of soda on my table. He said something about how he finished his food already and didn't drink any of his drink, but didn't want it to go to waste, so he was giving it to me. Though he was mumbling the whole time and could barely even hold eye contact with me. It was pretty creepy, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. I just wrote it off as some random guy trying to flirt with me. That's when I noticed about a few tables in front of me sat another guy. He was watching me insanely close. Now, this really creeped me out. I really didn't like the feeling of somebody just watching me eat like that. The dude just continued to sit there, watching me almost the whole time I was eating, even though he had no food in front of him. Finally, a few minutes later, the dude left the building. At this point, the place was almost closed, and I was the last customer inside the building. Though I was still insanely creeped out. I grabbed my trash, along with the drink that guy gave me, and threw it all out.
Yep.
I then asked one of the male employees if he could walk me to my car, and proceeded to explain the whole situation. The guy was really understanding, and he instantly dropped what he was doing to walk me out. We got outside, and I proceeded to lead him to my car. We kept walking, and that's when I saw 2 men crouch behind the other side of my car that wasn't visible from the building. I almost screamed, and they started to get up out of their crouching stance, slowly walking towards me. That was until they saw the employee that walked me out, and one of them quickly said, sorry, we have the wrong car. And they walked off. They were the same guys from inside the Chick-Fil-A. I knew they were. One was the guy who handed me his drink, and the other was the guy who was watching me. I instantly called the cops and explained everything. Though I left shortly after, as I was pretty shook up over the whole situation. I was never actually made aware if those 2 guys were ever caught. All I can assume is they tried to drug me with whatever drink they gave me that night, all in an attempt to make it easier to kidnap me. But luckily, I wasn't stupid enough to actually drink it.
Damn right.
Still though, this experience really scared me and caused me to never go back to that Chick-Fil-A again.
Oh, here comes an ad, y'all. Here you go, hold on.
This happened 4 years ago. I was 12, going on 13 in just a month or two. My friend, Lindsay, was 14, which was quite a bit older than me, at least at the time, as the 2-year age gap was pretty big. We met in school, and quickly became close friends.
Shouldn't a girl be there already?
Every single weekend together. Nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary. It was your typical Friday night. We carpooled to our family's apartment after school to spend the night together. After we ate dinner, me and Lindsay went to go hang out in her room. Now, Lindsay wasn't always a positive influence. She had a habit of talking to older guys online and lying about her age. Lindsay showed me some texts between her and a man she was talking to. I don't remember exactly what they said, but they consisted of him trying to convince her to meet up with him, and just the usual things you'd expect from a creep online. According to him, he was 19, tall, and blonde. And once I saw the texts, I asked for a picture of him. Something didn't sit right with me after seeing the messages. She showed me what he looked like, and he was very clearly not 19. The man was at least 40, and looked like he lived in
got a
his
whole
basement.
beard. Now what 19-year-old got a whole beard like that?
Ringing. It was the guy.
And yeah, you may
Lindsay
got
answered
the call,
without hesitation.
that looked like a
When I heard the
grown
voice on
ass
the other
man.
end of the call, I felt
You
like I was
got
going to be
the
sick.
son.
I could clearly hear the guy trying to convince Lindsay to meet up with him.
Let me not have
Lindsay
a
replied
dollar.
saying she
Let me
couldn't
not have a
because she
dollar.
was spending the night with a
I'll kill
friend.
motherfucker.
The mention of that must have sparked his interest, as the guy then proceeded to try and ask to meet both of us. Lindsay, lacking any common sense, said yes, and thus began our plan to sneak out and walk to meet this random guy in a Chick-Fil-A parking lot. I obviously didn't want to go. I was raised on stories of what happens to teen girls who meet random men from the internet in person. But after adamant pleading from Lindsay that she didn't feel safe going by herself, I agreed. We took our phones with us for the walk. The route we had to take to get there didn't have very many street lamps, and there weren't any houses. We were surrounded by trees on both sides of
y'all
us.
dumbasses do
When we got to the parking lot, it was almost empty. The Chick-fil-A was about 15 minutes from closing, and since Lindsay hadn't received a text from the guy saying he was there yet, we decided to go inside.
White people shit.
We ordered some milkshakes and went to go sit on one of the booths while we waited. But while we were sitting inside, I couldn't help but notice a car pulling into the parking lot, just continually circling the building. The car clearly wasn't looking for a parking spot, as it went around the building very slowly, around 10 times. All the while, me and Lindsay were just watching it from inside. After we finished our milkshakes, the car was gone, and Lindsay never got a text from the guy saying he was there, so we just decided to head back home. I was honestly insanely relieved that the guy never ended up showing up, but as we were walking home, I couldn't help but notice how many times a car passed us. The street we walk on to get back was almost completely desolate,
Did they
with trees
walk?
on either side of us. So
Y'all
having even
motherfuckers
two
go
cars
walk?
pass us would have been rare.
That white
I
bullshit.
ignored
I'm
it.
telling
It didn't look
y'all.
like Lindsay even
I ain't
noticed.
trying to be on no racist. I'm
We got
just
home,
saying.
and since it was
Black
late,
folks
we
would
decided
do
to just
no
go to bed
shit
in
like
Lindsay's
this.
room. Fast forward to around 4 a.m., we woke up to a loud bang. It sounded like someone smacking on the window, though Lindsay's room was on the second floor, meaning something must have been thrown. Me and Lindsay both sat up and looked at each other. The sound came again, that same bang. We both agreed someone had to have been outside, and just then, we heard the heart-dropping sound of a voice whispering, "Hey Lindsay, it's me. I followed you guys home."
Oh, hell no.
We both instantly
Hell
panicked in
fuck
reaction.
no.
We knew exactly who that was. I started crying. I was honestly terrified. Lindsay ran to her parents' room and explained the situation. Her parents instantly called the police. But of course, when they showed up, the guy was
that.
gone.
I'm getting
Lindsay
my
went
back.
to show
I'm
them the
getting my
conversation,
gun. Boom,
but
boom,
the
bang,
account was
bang.
deleted.
Your ass is gone.
Neither of us remembered the username either, so there was quite literally nothing the cops could do to take a report. The whole encounter was really disturbing.
I'll fight and kill for mine.
Lindsay's parents were really mad with her, and this caused me to lose connection with their other friend over the next few months.
I could have a daughter.
I haven't seen her in a while.
I could.
I'm not entirely sure whatever ended up happening with the whole situation. I just hope that guy never returned.
Wow. I mean, I wouldn't say I got scared. I didn't really get scared, but I would still call it try not to get scared because this shit was crazy. Let's talk about these true Chick-Fil-A horror stories. As far as the first one, the child abduction, first of all, 7 years old or not, we all were told stranger danger, don't go near nobody. Well, my mom basically like this. She didn't say no stranger danger shit. She just said don't do, if somebody walks up to you and say, hey, you want to come with us or something? If it's a grown ass man, you get your ass away from him. Don't you walk out, don't you do shit. And I've been doing that without my mom's even telling me not to do that. You know, you just have that common sense. You know? But, shit. Black parents, they be telling their kids, don't you walk out. Oh, sorry. Don't go with no grown ass man. Grown ass man offers you something or walks up on you saying, come on, let's go somewhere. No. You get your ass away, you come back over by us. Or if it's outside of the park, you bring your ass home. You don't go with the man. You don't walk out the door. But then again, I mean, he was 7, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's just me, because I was always raised knowing right from wrong. Whether 7 or not, I was raised to know better than that. To not just walk out of a door. And it ain't like he go grab you in front of all those people. I mean, I'm just saying. And then he picked you up. Man, had a motherfucker pick me up like that, I've been fighting. I be all types of shit. I be punching the motherfucker in the head. I'll bite him in the neck. I be doing all types of shit. I be screaming. I would grab something near and hit him upside the head. I would do whatever I gotta do to protect myself. Shit. Don't let skinniness fool you. I'll fuck a motherfucker up. And so, thankfully, he did not take him. Police started coming, so he dropped the motherfucker, and old man did. Yeah, and mind you, it had to be an old ass man. Why I gotta be an old man? That pedophilia shit. I truly felt like he was going to abduct that kid and possibly rape him. I mean, thank God he did, because he could have did anything to that little one. He could have tortured that boy. He could have raped him. He could have done all types of shit. So, I mean, I would have to say there was a happy ending to that horror story. But I've been hearing a lot about child abduction. I don't want my nephews to be playing outside like that. I don't want my nephews being alone like that, because they are 7 years old and under. Hell no. Y'all motherfuckers if y'all with me, y'all staying with me. I ain't letting y'all run around outside by yourself. Fuck that shit. Now, the second one. Now, I'm kind of confused because the second 2 stories were based on women. Well, girls. Why is the dude narrating the girls? Shouldn't a female be doing that? I was a little confused. I'm confused. Y'all comment down below about that. I don't know. That was weird. But the second one was basically, she was 20-some years old. She just got off of work. She was going to Chick-Fil-A to eat. And there wasn't a lot of people in there, I guess. And then these 2 men, one of the men came up to her and offered her a drink. Red flag right then and there. Because random motherfuckers just don't randomly just give you a drink. Just for no reason. I mean, now, had you have seen them make the drink, like, literally put it in the soda, what's the name, the fountains, and the sodas, had you have seen them do that, you might have been like, oh, okay, I just saw him make the drink, so, okay. But if you didn't see a motherfucker make that drink, you better not drink that shit. Thankfully, she didn't. Smart girl. I'll give you props for that. You didn't drink the shit, so you were done. It started getting creepy in there because nobody was really in there. She dropped her shit in the trash can. She dipped. And right before she could dip and get in her car, both the motherfuckers pop up out of nowhere. One of them, the nigga that offered her the drink, and then I guess apparently the other that walked up to her or something. I forgot what happened, but both of them niggas popped up out of her car. And thankfully, I guess she screamed. It got attention or something. Long story short, them motherfuckers didn't they got arrested or something. I forgot, because the first and third one I was more so invested in it. Didn't. But yeah, that was crazy, because that's considered women abduction. Now, had she not gotten the attention, they would have abducted her. There's such thing as child abduction and women abduction. Now, do I believe men can be abducted too? Actually, yeah, I do. Because you don't really hear about it, but I actually have heard stories here and there about men getting abducted too. So, anybody can be abducted. Man, woman, child, even pets and babies. Anybody can get it, unfortunately. It's our job as people to be careful and to protect ourselves. That's why I'd be like, I'll get into it after that. Let me get into this third one because I have more to say about it. Let's get into the third one. So yeah, they got caught, they got arrested, and she got to get home and all that. Thank God. But the third one is basically, I guess, two teenage girls who are, one of them is dating online. Red flag there, because I don't believe in dating online. Reason being is because you don't know the motherfucker like that. And okay, yeah, they may have a profile pic, but that profile pic could be any fucking body. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's that person. Identity theft, hello. And not only is she doing that, but she's lying about her age. Another red flag. Because you're lying about your age, which means anybody over 18 could fuck with you. And apparently she came across a nigga that claimed he was 18 or 19 or 17. I don't know. But motherfucker looked like a grown ass man with a whole ass beard. Now, granted, in high school, anybody in their junior, senior year, that's where you start growing a little beard. Like, I still have a little beard. I don't have a whole grown-ass man beard. That nigga had a whole beard. And that nigga was tall, too. Okay, yeah, we tall in high school. I'm damn near almost 6 foot. Okay, but he still looked like a grown-ass man. But it's like, that don't mean you fuck with him. And apparently, the other friend that wasn't down with online dating and wasn't down with her friend doing this shit, she's like, you damn sure shouldn't be going alone. Actually, neither one of y'all dumbasses should even be going at all, period. But what they do, they left and they headed on down there. And apparently they walked. Because on the way back, they walked home. In the dark, in almost the middle of nowhere. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, that's that white folks shit. Black folks wouldn't do no shit like this. So, their dumbasses walked to Chick-Fil-A, drinking their milkshakes, waiting on the nigga. Come to find out, there's a car skirting around the parking lot. Okay, there's nothing weird about that. But yeah, he was skirting around the parking lot, and I know it was him, but they somehow figured that he never showed up, which is bullshit, because who else was in that car? So they just got this shit and they left. And not only that, they walked back home at night. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, nothing wrong with that. But that was dumb as fuck. I'm sorry. That was dumb. Child abduction, teenage girl abduction. I mean, does people not read about this shit? Or are we so into reality shows or TV shows that we don't know what the fuck is going on around us? Just saying. I mean, I'm not trying to be big and all that, but hey, y'all motherfuckers got me big. Y'all think I'm going to walk in the dark like that, especially in the middle of nowhere. Y'all motherfuckers got me big for real, bro. But they got home, thankfully. They both sleeping. Next thing you know, boop boop. Nothing weird about that. Oh, that must have been something that hit the window. Like a little rock or something. Okay, good night. Knock, knock, knock. They both jump up. Next thing you know, there's a motherfucker at the window. Mind you, they're on the second floor. Now, how motherfuckers get from all the way up to the second floor staring out somebody's window? I will never know. They probably had a motherfucking ladder. Or are they like Spider-Man and they can crawl on the wall? Either way, the motherfucker was staring at their window and they was screaming and shit. Hence why I could never have a daughter, because had I been that daddy and I saw that shit, man, boom, boom, your ass back down. Or my back, bam, get your ass down. I could not have a daughter. I telling y'all, motherfucker will try it. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I'm being so dead ass right now. I could not have a daughter. Because I could not be going through this shit. If a grown ass motherfucker coming at my daughter, I'm going to jail. Period. Any motherfucker daddy would. Come on now. But, hey, they just called the police like, oh, hey, let's go. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, we need help. Okay. All right. Luckily, the police came, and I guess dude went to jail, and that was good riddance. But the moral of that story is don't online date, y'all. Do not online date. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Don't online date. That shit's not worth it. That shit's... No. No. No! Don't online date. You never know who you fucking with. Profiles don't mean shit. Profile pics don't mean shit. Anybody could fuck you over. Anybody. Don't online date. I'm so dead ass right now. Don't online date. It's not worth it. Don't. You want to get to know a motherfucker? Know him in person. Don't online date. Period. Now, back to what I was saying earlier about the abduction shit. Now I worry about my moms, because my moms, sometimes she be having notary signings at night. I'm going to start going with her, by the way. And I think I've talked to y'all about this before, but I'm going to talk to y'all about this again. Me and my brother think she should be getting a gun. She should get a gun. A little piece. Something. Because you never know. Pepper spray ain't gonna do shit. Throwing hands ain't gonna do shit either. And I'm not trying to be sexist and none of that, but 90%, 9 out of 10 men do have more strength than women to like literally grab. Men just have a strength that like not all women have. And my mom's like, oh, I'll just fight them. Fight ain't gonna do shit. They can just overpower you. And you're short. You're like 5 foot something. You're short. So they can overpower you, anything. So I think my mom should be getting a gun. My brother thinks she should be getting a gun and everything. So that's all. I'm down with it. I'm down for any women or anybody to have a gun to protect themselves and their families. I stand by it all the way. I stand by it all the way. I ain't got no problem with that. It's just how you're using the gun. I only stand by people having a gun, like I said, protecting their families and themselves. But having a gun just to have a gun, nah. And do I feel like everybody should have a gun? No, because there are crazy people out there. It's just simple. But I'm going to wrap this shit up because it's already been like 28 minutes and everything. But y'all want to comment down below if y'all want me to do more of these horror reaction challenges. Like trying not to get scared. I really didn't get scared, so it was kind of a win-win because I didn't really get scared. It just got kind of fucked up. It was fucked up. But what I need y'all to do is I need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications for all of the bangers. And I will see you in the next video. Deuces, nigga!